Now let's see what's going on. I believe we are live. There we go. According to StreamYard, we are live right now. So give it a moment. Let me see if it goes on.
I don't see it here yet, but let me know.
Where's it at?
No, it's just not showing. So I mean, that means it's not live. That's what I should say. Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me it broke. Oh no, we live. We live on YouTube.
No,
definitely.
YouTube, but it's not.
What's going on YouTube? If you are tapping in, I want to know. Can't post comments. Some destinations. Let me know where you guys are joining from. What city and state? Because we always like to know where people are tapping in from. Tonight we're gonna have a very special conversation, or today, or tomorrow, whenever you guys listen to this or watching this. We're gonna have a very special conversation with some of our OGs of Cleaning Business University, the Tiptons. We are gonna do some time that we're gonna spend some time catching up with them on their journey, what they've accomplished, and where they are today. And we got North Carolina. What's going on?
In California.
In Cali. Okay. So let me make sure, because I think I was trying to go live on Instagram too. But let me just double check. What's going on, VA?
It's not live yet, but it's fine. We'll figure it out another time.
I want to give them a little taste.
Hello, Garland, Texas, VA. Garland's in Dallas. I've learned that after being here for close to 8 years. I now know some cities in Dallas.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. I still use my GPS anytime I leave the house, by the way. So what's up, Dallas?
So what I'm going to do is
You're just gonna go
we're going to do our normal introduction.
Okay. Want me to intro while you figure that out?
Go for it.
Okay. So those of you that do not know, maybe you're new here, maybe you never heard us speak before, you're like, what makes you guys come and speak here? My name is Janoka. This is Anthony. We're from Brooklyn, New York, and we've been living in Dallas. It's going to be 8 years now. We started our cleaning business 7 years ago. Yeah, November will be 7 years. So 6.5 years ago, we started our cleaning business down here in Dallas, Texas. And approximately 3.5 years ago, we started teaching students how to run a remote cleaning business without having to clean the homes. So that's a little bit about who we are. Before we got into the space of the cleaning business, we were paying off debt. So we paid off $114,000 of debt in 23 months. And we started a cleaning business during that time to hopefully raise some income. Sounds crazy, I know, but it worked out, as you will learn today and amongst our students. So that is a little bit about who we are, what we do. What most of you guys know us for is having a remote cleaning business where we don't clean any homes. But we did kind of start in this space with paying off $114,000 of debt. And that's who we are.
And the dope thing about this conversation, we're going to bring the Tiptons on the stage in about a minute. The dope thing about this conversation is that they're one of the earlier adopters of Cleaning Business University. So when we started teaching this stuff, they were one of the first ones who kind of was like, I will actually learn from them exactly why they wanted to do it. But what's dope about this is that we get to see their journey as they've gone on, as they've gone and grown their business, as they go on to do different things and try different things in their business. So this would be more of a family reunion, a family catch up with them. And you guys just happen to listen in, which is absolutely fantastic.
So, and the last time we actually did a formal interview in this way with them was in 2021. And that was just on IG Live before we did any YouTube or anything like that. So you can always catch the IG Live. It still lives on our page if you ever wanted to.
You want to scroll back
to 2021. It still lives there. But this one, we're like, let's make sure we make it. This probably be a podcast episode next Tuesday if you miss it. So we want to make sure you tune in and get all the gems.
All right, guys, we're going to bring the Tiptons to the stage right now.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What's going on, the Tiptons? How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. So let everybody know, where are you located?
We're located in Tennessee, in East Tennessee.
East Tennessee. Okay, I don't know nobody else there, but okay.
we know you guys.
We know you guys. So 2020 is when we launched this product. What made you say, okay, let's jump on it. Let's do it.
A couple of things. One was I had already been following you all because of your debt-free journey. and like we were Dave Ramsey followers and like doing all the steps. And I was, you know, back when like hashtags was how you found what you were looking for on IG.
That's how you know.
Yeah. So like I was looking for, you know, debt-free journey, and then I found a couple that looked like us, and I was like, hey. So I had been following y'all for quite a while. And I know that your cleaning business was a part of your debt-free journey, one of your side hustles, one of your mini side hustles. And I heard your story just from that. And so when you guys said you were selling a course, the timing was we had gotten notice that January that Jonathan was going to be laid off in the fall. And then the pandemic shut all like leads and things like that for other job opportunities down. And we were like, we had just sent up a prayer, like, what are we going to do? What are we gonna do? Yeah, so it felt like we had slim options and not very much control, because also like our county hadn't made a decision about what they were going to do about school in the fall. We have children, and so, you know, trying to decide if somebody works at night, who will be here during the day, and just stuff like that. So when we saw that post about you offering education for how you made money yourself, I trusted you enough I knew it worked because I saw you guys do it. And I felt like I trusted you enough to learn from you. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys trusting us enough to do that, because we get people questioning us all the time, and I'm like,
to this day,
I got nothing to lose here, sweetheart. Like, what? Why would I?
To this day.
Yeah.
So last time we touched base, we interviewed you guys back in, was that 2021. And you guys had launched your cleaning business, and at that point, you were doing, I think the stat was like $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Back then, and I know you were super excited about that, but that was 2.5, 3 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So
that was go ahead. You gonna finish?
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, and on that call, we were pressuring you to say, why aren't you guys making more? You're like, yeah, but you know, and we were like, but you could be making more. You understand that and know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I remember that was a thing as well that we discussed.
Yeah. I think it was a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot going on, and we were just pacing ourselves. And I also think it was
situation too, because we're in a position where we needed that to replace the income, so we were paying ourselves, so we wasn't able to put as much money back into it, like like some of the other students were able to do.
Yeah,
so
at that time we were not able to do that, but we have since been able to do that, and some things got better.
What changed? I guess what changed? Your personal life, the business.
Yeah. So funny enough, I think that we had a lot. Like we had a daycare also that we had started like at the same time that we started the cleaning business, and that was really like an opportunity had fallen into our lap, so we took it on. I think, looking back, using wisdom, we may have overdone it. We may have spread ourselves a little thin. And so you think the more pots you have on the fire, like the more income you bring, that's just automatic. But it's not always that way. And in this case, it was not that. We were just spread pretty thin, and not just financially, but just with managing all the things. I mean, we were the owners of every business that we had. Like we were the managers of all of it every day.
The daycare, and I was managing the cleaning business.
Yeah, it was a lot. And,
why do you think people kind of had that mentality where it's like, if I got more things going, I would have more income?
Because basic math, you know.
You're like, duh.
But because I mean,
it ain't mathing.
Yeah, the math was not mathing. And when we really, I think, when we made both of those decisions, we were looking at losing his 9-to-5 was our main income, and that was like so incredibly scary. And then on top of that, it was 2020. Then like panic even more.
Yep.
So I think we acted out of desperation a little bit, especially with like piling so much on at once. But when things like began to settle, we kind of looked around and we're like, what do we want to feed? Like what business do we really want to pay attention to and feed? Almost looking at it like we talked about it like our children, like this baby and this baby, like the cleaning business and our daycare. Like our daycare needed so much attention, but it took so much to make it lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, man, if we really, really paid more attention to the cleaning business, I mean, it's limitless.
Yeah,
the daycare had limits. The cleaning does not.
What was I want to stay on that conversation a little bit, because that's a mature conversation to have, especially in business. Like to say you have a whole daycare, it sounds amazing, right? But then you guys had this cleaning business thing, and it was like cleaning business or daycare. I'm going with the daycare, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you guys sat down and really said, where are we going to put most of our eggs into? Was that scary during that time to say, all right, we're going all in on this cleaning business thing and letting go of the daycare?
Yeah, because we had employees, we had families that were,
dependent on us.
So they could.
Y'all fired your family?
No,
the
kids.
No,
the kid did.
Okay, I thought you had actual family. That's even worse, actually.
No, we know better than that. We know better. But no, we had families that depended on us, and it was just like we struggled with it for a while. But
not to cut you off, but like it was in Knoxville. I mean, to get in a daycare, it's like a month wait. It's like a month waiting list. Mm-hmm. Like it's tough.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So to let people.
It really was it was a tough decision to make. We went over it for a while, and I kept saying to him, like, I think the cleaning business is the way to go. Like there's a cap with how many children you can have according to how much square footage you have and licensure and all that. There's no cap on the cleaning business.
How much time did you give the families? That would make a difference for me.
How much time was it? Was it we actually stayed.
It wasn't much time because, like we discussed, we added another person to our family. And so
we did have one employee that stayed on until they found somewhere to go.
Yeah, but that wasn't it. I would have loved to give more notice, but honestly, like we mentioned, just like the stress of it all, and like I'm sure many mothers can attest to, when you're at the end of that time and you have another person you're about to deliver. It's only so much you can take. Mm-hmm. And I didn't it wasn't one day that I just, said you got a day, but we were already pondering over it. And then by the time we got to the decision where I knew I would be out for a while, I went ahead and made that decision to give them notice. I think they had maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, which is, ideally they would have months, but I was just like, I knew I was going to be out.
Mm-hmm. So we have to stop you real quick because you guys are really dark on our side.
It's gotten darker and darker.
I don't know.
You guys are like in shadows at this point.
Okay, hold on.
Why? I don't know if it looks the same for people watching or what. I'm sure you're not sitting in a dark room. Here we go. This is
okay. We have a lamp right here, but it might just be like fading. I wasn't sure my screen.
Well, it was getting darker as we were going. Oh, this is like night. This is literally night and day.
I wasn't sure if my iPad went to sleep or what. I didn't want to tap the screen, but okay.
This is going online. People are like, who are you talking? They couldn't even see them. Now we can see you guys. There we go.
Not everybody is always on social media with this. We have you don't want to see the light in front of us.
But no, you guys are good now.
But no. Okay, so you guys made the hard decision of letting one business go. And around what time was that? If you don't mind, like what year, month, whatever.
January 2023.
So,
okay, so you hung on to that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was.
She's like, I gave you my time.
It was good when it was good, but like I said, we had went over for a long time because we had so many people dependent on us, and we really didn't want to pull the rug out from under them. But you can't make decisions like that. You can't make business decisions like that.
Yeah, get it. So really, January 2023, would you say the business then took off at that time once you let go of the daycare, or what started to happen around then? Very
soon after the results for paying, giving our business our sole attention. Mm-hmm. I mean, I said it's just like a baby. Like when we gave it our full attention, it just was like, thank you.
Growing.
Yeah.
Why do you think that happens as well? Is like we have something there, and we understand. I think you guys even knew it back in 2021 that you had something there. But what took you so long to say, I'm going to give it that attention? Obviously, the daycare was a big part of it, but why not go into that earlier?
I would say just the potential that we know it had. And we saw other people, not that we gauge yourself against other people, but, we saw what it could be if we put our time and efforts into it and money into it instead of putting it to
and not
have
just
spread
that,
thin.
but the daycare business was renting from us, the property owners, as well.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
double dipping.
yeah, and we were like, oh man, like, you know, it's taking care of our property for us. Like it was, you know, yeah. So it was hard to let it go. I think for me, the biggest thing though was the people, because one of the ways we acquired that business was it was the staff and the families from the daycare that closed that I was working at during the pandemic. So
so you had a bigger connection with them than just business.
Right.
Okay, so that made it hard, understandably.
What principles did you get from that daycare that you transferred over to the cleaning business?
Relationships, and not like boundaries, but not like, you know, with no boundaries. When I say relationships, I mean paying attention to the people that we work with. Because when you're dealing with people's children, that's their most precious thing. And one thing we saw was like during the pandemic, we had like essential workers, and that, you know, we were working with families that were like, you know, it was just so much going on with families. We had to pay so much attention to families, the stress they were under, the financial pressure they were under. And our daycare, like any other daycare that was able to stay open during that time, we were an answered prayer for a lot of families. And so just that compassion piece that we brought over to cleaning, like, you know, we're still helping families. Yeah. Even with working with our cleaners, like they have families. So just paying more attention to the people, and relationships was a big one. And with the daycare, I was able to be like super creative. I love creating curriculum and just doing like all fun newsletters and things like that. So I brought a lot of that kind of communication or email list and stuff like that to the cleaning business. Whereas before, I don't think I thought about it like that as an opportunity for me to be creative with media and stuff like that. So
I think it's important what you said, because a lot of times people always ask, well, why would someone continue to work with you? And I'm like, simply treating them like people. And people are like, right, duh. I'm like, it's not a duh thing, because especially in this field, they face a lot of people that don't treat them that way. Even when they go into somebody's home, people are looking down on them. And so just simply checking in on them, simply Happy Mother's Day, simply Merry Christmas, little things like that goes a long way. Like, it's a professional relationship, but just like how you feel like your job, right? You don't want it to be so transactional. So we try to have people kind of think of it in that way. But the transferable skills, I think, is important, because Anthony talks about that all the time. Just like with him being a director at his company and then being a full-time entrepreneur and what that looks like. So
So I told Alana. I'm sorry. I told Alana the other day. We had one of our cleaners that rocked with us at the beginning, and she was like one of the only cleaners we had at the time. And she moved in from out of town. We probably talked about it in the last podcast. But she was excellent. All 5 stars. Everybody loved her. She really got our business off the ground. And then she moved an hour away, and she grew her own business to where she didn't really need to take our cleans anymore. Last week, we get a message from her. Hey, I got some openings if you get anything within an hour driving distance. Yeah,
I know y'all was hyped.
And I said, that's how you know you're doing a good job, when your cleaners will come back.
They'll come back.
Yeah. She keeps coming back. So then whenever she comes back, we drive all like marketing to like her region. And we're like, hey, we got somebody to, you know, we push them all towards her, because she's a rock star. She's our favorite.
That's amazing.
So I was going to say, let's catch up to 2023 maybe.
That's where they at.
And after we got rid, after the daycare and we went all in on the cleaning business, what did all in for you guys look like? Because I think in 2021 we spoke, I think you guys were kind of in, but what did all in look like for you? Once we closed into the daycare and we're like, all right, we're going the cleaning business thing. We know it's unlimited potential. What does that look like for you guys?
So one thing that we did was we went, you know, this is where we kind of stepped into the commercial side more. I think we're in the. And
I was fighting.
Yeah, like, she didn't want to, but
I said that's not what they taught us.
we had mentioned in our group that we had an opportunity to do some housing cleans for the university and do some turns. So that was like 500 to 600 units, and they needed them all turned in within like a 2 or 3 week span. That kind of
How they find you?
Google local service ads.
So they found. Can you walk through that, please? Because people may not understand. So you were doing residential, but a commercial property found you.
Yes, they keep finding us. So
Yeah.
we're not advertising to commercial properties. They keep finding us. We are using Google local service ads.
Yeah, they call us and they ask us, they want to make sure you have all your workman's comp insurance and your general liability. They even want automobile insurance. I keep trying to tell them our company don't have cars, but they still want automobile.
You got a car?
I was like, I'll send you what I have, but
I ain't gonna be there.
but that really fell through because of the workman's comp. I was nervous about that because I have a friend out that's an insurance agent. He was telling me you got to be careful with that because if you underestimate your payments on workman's comp, it can come back. And they do like a review at the end of the year. If you're underpaid, you're gonna owe them a fat check. So I was nervous about that. So that deal actually fell through. But then we found something that worked, and we went with that insurance. So now we can clean apartments, apartment complexes when they have turns. So all types of commercial opportunities came our way.
So when you got that call from the university or school, like what was that conversation like? They called you and like, we're from such and such. Was you walk me through that?
They want to meet in person. So that's one thing. That's one of the reasons why she said she's always reluctant with the commercial side. They want to meet you in person. They don't like over the phone. You gotta come look.
Of course not.
They want you to come look at them and meet you in person. So the first thing he did was he was just asking if we're open to it, and can you meet in person? That's the first thing. So I went down and met him at the property. We walked the property, showed me the different units that they have, and he said, "I'm gonna give you." He even gave me a gem. He gave me the pricing sheet from somebody who's been working with him for years. So we looked at that, took it up a notch, but used that as a gauge. And they accepted it. And but again, just we didn't have that workman's comp, so that
Were you guys like, all right, well, this is just one that was down and we'll get another one? Or were you guys like, damn, this is over? Like, how'd you guys feel after that?
I was like, see, this is why we don't do that. We're not allocating funds to insurance. We don't understand. And
allocating funds.
Yeah, and it's like, 500 units, like, how long are they giving us to finish it? Do we have the staff? We're gonna have to take people off of stuff they already doing to get this done. Like, I was like, do you really know what you're doing? Do you really know what you're committing to?
Not, right?
I didn't, but we were gonna try.
Isn't that the point of this?
That was the energy, though. That was the energy that we kind of started to keep because we were all in. Like it was like, okay, if we're gonna keep getting these calls, because that wasn't the only one. Yeah, we got a lot of calls, and like the first question, they introduce themselves, they say who they are, and what we learned is when we have a call that comes in that's not our normal, like I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. When we have a call, we don't tell them what we don't do. We just hear them out, gather the information, take a pause, tell them we're taking it to management. We'll get right back with them. We have a conversation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we've been, handling the calls from.
Yeah.
So, but I'm actually. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because maybe we'll do it, and it's always depending on money. You never know what I can end up doing, right? Like I may think I only do residential, but maybe I can do this. Maybe I can make it work.
Right.
Which is important just in business in general, like pivoting and making it work for yourself and your business during the different seasons.
So how do you guys manage that part of the business where you got two different mindsets, two different personalities, and you got one like we're gonna figure it out, and the other one's like maybe we shouldn't, maybe that's not our route. How do you guys manage that as a couple? Because people say like, how do you go in business as a couple? It's great hearing it from us, but I would love to hear from you guys how you manage it.
So it's
based on her smile.
I need everything. I need it. It needs to go right. Let's just put it that way. If it messes up, it's on me to fix it. Not that she won't be there to support me, but she'll be there. She's like, hey, this is why we don't go do stuff outside of our realm. But
well, maybe not. Like I'm not. It's not like I told you so. It's more like let's look at what didn't go right.
Yeah, no, she is good with that.
I'm very good at that.
We had a mansion that was a move. It's post construction. Yeah, mini mansion, I'll say, and we were out there way longer than we should have been, and I didn't include her because she was still getting back to coming to work and stuff like that.
Yes, this was
So,
very early in the 4th trimester, so
Yeah.
I was out of this project completely. But it, one thing I said to him early on, like, it sounded exciting because it was a post construction for like a mini mansion, and it was like, if we could have gotten it done in a tighter timeline, it would have been worth the money. But the longer you take to complete a project, the slimmer the margin gets. And
how big was that place, square footage?
So it was only about 6,000, but it was in one of the, like, it was the smallest house in the right.
That type
It's
of
like,
area.
so that community is like one of the higher end communities, like 12, 14,000 square foot homes. Like,
but it was post construction, so it was dust everywhere. So
yeah, the 6,000 square foot home.
And my friend was the builder, so there was a lot of pressure there too. So
how do you guys manage your network? You guys are born and raised there, right?
Yes.
One of us was. I grew up here, but
so you guys have a pretty decent network. Have you been leveraging your cleaning? Have you been leveraging your network for the cleaning business side?
So yes, but this big project that we took on, the big one that we were talking about tonight, that's where we did it the most. Like, we used the most relationships I think we've ever, and it was an opportunity to like edit some as well, because with taking on this project, we called in everybody because they needed so much. And so, we had built these relationships over the years, people we had used personally, people we had used for the property, people we had recommended to clients. So we called a cavalry, we called everybody we knew. And some of the responses were telling because it was such a quick turnaround for the project. Like, some we thought were going to work out and didn't. Like, we learned a lot about our network of fellow professionals. It was
okay.
Yeah.
So let's not beat around the bush. Oh, go ahead.
And to circle back to your question, though, we get a lot of, it's people in our neighborhood that are property managers of different communities, and so those relationships we kind of built those and grew them. Just people that we've met out here, because we actually moved to the other side of town, so we've been meeting different people and realtors and brokers, and just, it's just hard to, you can imagine, but it's been a blessing, actually. Like, just kind of how you all transitioned to Texas. We just moved to the other side of town. We kind of
it's a blessing.
Just met a lot of new people that have been a blessing for our business.
So let's not beat around the bush. This is what the people came in here.
We got an IM saying, or a message, sorry, because you guys are in our community. If you don't know, we have students in the community, over 200 students in there, dropping gems all the time. So Tiptons messaged us and said, send a prayer up. We got a $32,000 commercial bid happening. We'll have to complete it in one day. Huh? What? Tell me more. But okay, well, we'll pray. We're praying for you. And then they came back and said, we got the job. Okay, so explain to people what happened there. I think you touched on it, because many people don't believe that even if you're just doing residential, people will call you for commercial, for Airbnb, for vacation properties.
You set yourself up the right way.
They have no idea. They just know you're a cleaning company. They'll call you regardless, right?
Yeah.
So just walk us through that. You don't have to say the name of the company, but they called. How do you react that day?
He took that call.
Yeah, I was on the way home from quoting another property. It was crazy. I was on the way home quoting a commercial property, and I was on the phone with my mom. So I took the call, because at the time I think we transitioning our VAs at the time. I don't remember exactly how that was going, but yeah, I took that call. But
because of what we learned about the mini mansion, after he took the call in the car, he came in.
I was like, I got a call. I don't know. It's kind of outside of our wheelhouse. It's a industrial move-in clean, basically, of office space and a warehouse of 500,000 square feet.
500,000 square feet.
500,000.
And at the time, let me ask you, at the time, how many contractors did you have?
Oh, 12, 15.
Yeah. Okay. And mind you, this is an hour away from the city.
Yeah.
So it's not
500. I can't even fathom 500.
No, it's when we looked it up.
Arenas.
We looked it up. It was like the scale was like the warehouse was like I can't get my hands. The warehouse was like this, and the office space was like this. Like it was on the scale.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it took
They want the entire building done, or just the office areas?
They had the office area plus some like
stuff on the exterior of the warehouse.
Yeah, some areas.
They already had product on the floor, so we couldn't do anything to the actual floor in most parts of it.
But some areas of it.
We had to go around the.
It wasn't the whole. If it was the whole.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about 50, we've been talking about 75, 80.
You wouldn't see it.
You still be there.
We would
have hit lottery and just
So you got this call 500,000 square feet, and you like, let's do it.
He's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's talk, let's answer some questions, let's write some things down. And we talked, and
walk me through those questions that you guys were going through, because I'm no students gonna be like, all right, they get this call. Where do I even go? What do I even think about? Like, what type of questions went through your mind at that point, if you can remember?
The timeline.
I think urgent need.
It was an urgent need. My question was how urgent. So like I think at this point it was like after hours, like so we were talking about it like in the evening and stuff like that, and we were discussing what we needed to follow up with to get more information from them. So he said it's urgent. How urgent is it? We knew where it was at this point. It was an hour from the city. So now we're thinking, do we have anybody that can travel? And already I'm thinking, I think you had told me who the company, well, he told me who the property management company was. So this is a property management company. Their client is a $1 billion beverage company.
University,
What is that? $1 billion beverage company is their client. So the client is moving into this new building and they want it prepped for them to move in. And they want to move in as soon as possible. And the CEO is coming for a walkthrough like the following week. So they need this done quick. And so
y'all didn't know y'all need to clean this all this time?
But this is the thing. And this is something I want like everybody to pay attention to. Don't think because you're a small business that you can't name your price. When someone calls you and says, I need it done now.
Yeah, we need it.
And we say, okay, well, if we can work around that timeline, you're going to have to pay. And like that's how we was talking. Like that's how when he came to me with that evening, we kind of had an understanding. I was like, if this is what they really need, this is gonna cost them. Do they understand that? And he's like, I don't know. Like we'll find out tomorrow. And we started having the conversations with their sales rep. And
So, but you
guys, how long was the conversation with the sales rep? Like was it 4 days?
It took
So the conversation he was telling me, he was like, okay. So, we need you to clean the office. Oh, yeah. And we may need power washing. Oh, yeah. And we may need painting. Oh, yeah. We need the floors done. We need the carpet cleaned.
So he was saying.
He just kept on naming stuff.
Do you all do that?
Yeah.
And we were saying, we know who can.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We weren't saying we'll give you the number. We were saying we know who can. And they weren't. Another point is they weren't in the state. They're in another state.
They're in another state.
So also another point is, in this big company, when you're dealing with like big corporate, they'll pay to get things done because they don't have time to do it. And so my thing was, we can find them, but there's a finder's fee.
Yeah.
And like everything it's gonna cost you. And they were like, okay.
Yeah. So you guys
do it already.
So you guys are still using the business model where you are finding the right people to get the jobs done. You guys are a small business. I mean, you guys are a small business. They're a big corporation, multi-billion-dollar corporation, is calling you guys for a cleaning. And at this point, you're like, we're gonna figure it out. Obviously, you guys are on the same page. You're gonna figure it out. But you guys are finding the right people because they are in West Bubble, and they just know they need the job done. They don't care. Most people don't care how it gets done. We just need you guys to help me get the job done.
Exactly.
So the thing became finding the right people and then sending our quote for the job. That was the next steps. Like once we were in agreement, once we were clear on what they needed, we had a conversation with them and decided to move forward with at least like we said, let us get back to you with them. Like I think we said like 24 hours or something. And they kept pressing like, they were like, it's really urgent. We just need to know if you're gonna do it or not. And we were like, okay. But you guys have to understand, we had clients on the books. Like, we're not, because you're not going to just like pay us for the clients. We got to move out of the way. So you're going to have to wait. We'll get back with you. And they, I mean, you know, that's another thing. Play hardball, like not too hardball where you lose your opportunity, but don't let them push you around and intimidate you. Because if they wanted to, they would have you so like bucked up over getting $1,500 that, you know, we would have dropped everything earlier on. We probably would have dropped everything and made $1,500 off the whole thing and been up there for like 6 days. But now we know time is money. And if I'm going to take my time to find all these people that you want to come with me and my cleaners and travel an hour out of the city, then you're going to pay me. You're going to pay them. You're going to make it like easy. You're going to make it convenient for me to make that trip. You know, it's going to cost you. And we're moving our schedules around. It's going to cost you.
How'd you guys come up with the pricing model for a job like this? Because we were figuring it out, but I have no idea, so I'm asking you guys.
So with that, she did all the pricing. She didn't even show me.
Let's go.
She didn't like,
I'm not with this, but since I'm with it, I'm gonna figure it out.
This is it. Yeah. So like me, I have been telling him like I felt so coming off of like having the baby and just feeling like I was having to check in with my VA and him be like, what we do today? How did everything go today? Did everything go good? We got feedback. Like I just felt so for months and months and months. I felt like I was so behind. And I feel like this is weird to have to like check in my business. I feel behind. So when this opportunity came and I saw that like I had started taking the phone calls with the property management company and they started to like build my confidence. And I was like, yeah, like you that girl. don't you that girl. Like don't forget. And so when I saw the size of this project and all it was going to take and how urgent they were pushing for it to be done so quickly and all that was going to take to move everybody's schedules around, I was like, this is quite the task.
Yeah.
And if it's going to take this much, I'm going to get paid for my time on the back end. So this is writing contracts, contract procurement, doing all the urgent interviewing I had to do to find the power washer. But again, this is where we like relationships, like people we knew we contacted first. Yeah. Right. But
and go ahead. We let them name their price. Basically, we told them those phone calls went like, hey, we got a project an hour away. They need it done yesterday. Name your price. And they did.
Well, not everybody, but that's what I was saying about the people we knew. So we called not our friends, but we called the people we knew first. Yeah, and some of them were like, I'm not moving my regular clients for this.
Yeah.
And so
that happens.
That's understandable. Yeah, that's understandable. So like ideally we wanted to use just the people we had met and gotten to know, but that wasn't the case in all of so we had power washing, floor care, carpet cleaning,
even handyman services.
That has nothing to do with cleaning, but
no. But they were asking while they were on the phone with us, and so my thinking was, what we do is find independent contractors and sign contracts with them to complete a job. We can do the same thing.
You're project managing,
right?
That's it.
So that's what was. So you know, when we got everybody on the job, I was charging for my time for contract procurement. I was charging for the urgent turnaround. Whatever they charge, I added a finder's fee for each professional. And then for the like whole project management service itself, I asked myself, what do I want to take home? And that's what I said. I reverse engineered it based on what I wanted to take home after this was all over.
And then some of the people we worked with, I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Let's say power washing was $500 an hour, and we estimated it was gonna take a day and a half, and they finished the 7 hours. Then that's what they got paid. We kept the rest.
Yeah. Right. So we had to overestimate though. We overestimate.
Oh yeah, we charged on top of their 500. You know.
Right. So when you told them the price, what did they say?
They were like, let's take this to, and he didn't know what the price was. I just, I did all the paperwork. I was up like late at night, like just like going over it, like, oh my God, I'm gonna just do it. And I sent it in, and they were like, we'll get back to you. I think it took about 24 hours, and we were sweating bullets. And then we had people that were like the professionals were like, okay,
standby.
Yeah, and I was like, God, please don't let them think, we're trying to like this is a scam. Like, please, like, I told them, I said, guys, I reached out to them, you know, we didn't hear anything. And they're like, yeah, we're taking it to the group. We have a meeting this afternoon. And I was like, if this goes through, you're going to have to send me a deposit so I can put something in these people's accounts so they know I'm not joking. You know, this is really going to happen. And they understood. And they got back to us and was like, contracts approved. How soon can you get there? And that's when I told them how much I put.
Were you happy with that number, or did you feel like, damn, I should have did more?
You always gonna say I should have did more, but
when they accept too easily, I'm like,
well, I know, but it ended up, I mean, ended up being extra little projects that they added on, so the ending number ended up being about 44. At the end of the day.
44. Now we gotta update the YouTube title now.
But that was in the 1 day part.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it still was a $44,000 project.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know when we started hitting $44,000 months. I mean, let's be clear. So one project being 44,000 is insane.
It was insane. It was insane. I put together the quote and I literally was holding my breath and I was thinking, if I lose this, he gonna say because I shot too high. But I know what I'm worth, and I know I had put together all this work already to, you know, write contracts, gather contracts, and get the contractors. I've already planned this project, so like I've already
did all their work for them. Basically.
So, do you think that you mentioned this because I know we have a lot of students that may be a bit newer, and sometimes I hear things and I'm like, well, it's your business. You got to just think outside the box. You got to it's your business. You got to pivot. Do you think you would have been able to do that a year or 2 years ago? Or
no, absolutely not.
Even if someone told you, like, even if you heard a student like you on YouTube right now telling you you're a year into the business, if you heard somebody telling you that you could do this, do you think you'll still have the confidence or still no? You have to find it yourself.
I heard somebody else say they did it, maybe. But and one of the influences I had was I had just read this book by Rachel Rogers called We Should All Be Millionaires.
I know he's a
I love that book so much. And so it just built so much like confidence in me, even though I had given up the daycare and I was like taking care of this new baby like day and night. I was just like, like I have expertise and I know what I'm doing and I can take my business to new levels. And I was just like encouraging myself. And so when the opportunity finally came,
that was it. That was the point.
Yeah, it was just the opportunity I needed to prove to myself that I could name my price. I could build a team. We could show up and show out and get paid.
Yep.
And did that.
And I wanna pause here and commend you guys, because like when we started this journey, you guys were in a different place, even in your lives. You just said you just had a baby. So you're managing your marriage, you're managing a family, you're managing a business, and people be like, oh, we can't do it because we're married. Oh, we can't do it because my spouse doesn't agree. Oh, we can't do it because we got kids. How many kids you guys have?
4.
That's a school child. You in
4. And I wanted you guys to say that because
I still have my 9 to 5 as well.
And I'm homeschooling.
So I was able to keep my.
I think you said you want 5.
I was able to keep my job. Eventually, it got turned around.
Yeah, so when we last spoke, you weren't sure about that. So that's amazing too.
Can I recap that? So we got 4 kids, we got a job, we got a new baby, not an old baby, we got a new baby. We're managing business and we are kicking ass and taking names. Congratulations, guys.
And she homeschools. So
and you're homeschooling
all 3 of the kids?
The 3 kids,
the 3 school age kids.
We gonna have to hit you up offline about that. We need some gems on the homeschooling tip.
The patience. That's why you was able to stay up all night and do the contract.
Some adult time.
I was already up.
Oh yeah. Because girl, that takes a lot of. That's amazing. Though.
Congratulations, that's huge. So where is the business now in terms of like commercial and residential? Are you guys focusing more on commercial? Like, where's the business? Or just like whatever comes to me, we taking it. We gonna take it down.
It's whatever comes our way. We'll try it. Now that we got all our insurances in place. We offer junk removal. It's huge. People call, they need a move out clean or tenant or property managers. Junk removal, carpet cleaning. We can. It's not even on our website, but we have our VA let them know. You're like, hey, we can offer this if you need it.
Yeah, if they ask for it, we let them know. But I don't know if you guys are aware of what's going on. Like we have so many people from like California that are buying up property here like crazy. So like when a lot of our calls are people who don't even live here.
Yeah, people don't live.
They just own property here, and so they need a lot of that, like hauling out, like they're doing a lot of work on the house. So we are getting so many calls from property management.
Yeah. We even have an Airbnb that turns about 10 times a month. So we get that one, and that's about 10, 12 times a month. So
and are your contractors doing most of these jobs? Like your people who do the residential doing some of these jobs, or you find like for the junk removal, is that a whole different?
That's a different
Okay.
person. I got like 3 junk removers in my phone that if somebody needs it, I'll call and I give them the whichever gives me the lowest quote, because it can't mess that up. Really, we should be able to. And then we roll with that one.
Same with carpet cleaning.
Yeah.
So how do you, when you think back, I don't know if you remember, because I know when we started, we I still remember who the like top cleaning businesses in my area is or was. How do you compare to them, or do you even think about them? Because a lot of times a question that students ask is, what about the competition?
I'm obsessed with looking at seeing who's above us. She told me to stop worrying about it.
No, it doesn't make sense.
But I'm always checking to see. There's one company here that pretty much runs the show, like and they're in the whole state of Tennessee, basically. So
but I mean,
but that's not.
They didn't get that $40,000.
And that ain't stopping your juice, right?
It's plenty of. It's 30, and that's one other thing I think we want to touch on. In our Google local service ads, when we first started, it was only 3 companies that were Google local service ad approved,
certified.
Now there's like 30 in our area, but we still getting calls.
Could be CBU students.
Yeah,
they popping up. We got a bunch in Dallas now. It's like, are you hungry enough to compete with us? It's like
they are. I mean, we have some people here. It's a company out of Nashville that's here now, and I'm like, where did they come from?
Yeah, same like small business, like family owned. You know, same vibe.
You guys are super dope, and you are crushing it, man.
No, I was just gonna say the inspiration. I love that, you're able to take the course and do what works best for you guys, right? And I think that's important for any student. Like, this is a step for you, right? This is the blueprint for you to get started. But like you said, sky's the limit. If you got organizing, start organizing. We don't teach organizing, but it's the same type of thing, right? Carpet cleaning, window washing, junk removal, all the things that you speak about is so important, because that also is just an add-on. These are things people are looking for anyway. We say, like, once you're in the home, why not? Why not offer it if you can? So I think that that's important of what you guys did, and that you were able to grow, right? So you spoke about that, like a year in the business, like, we wasn't in that place to put a lot of money back into the business. So we did. And then when we did, we saw what it could become. So things could change. So different seasons, different things, I think is important. Especially when you look at other people and stuff like that. You're like, how are they so far ahead? They got something else going on. You don't know. You know what I mean? We're going to make it in our own time. So thank you for coming to share. But we did want to get to, if you guys have questions, you can drop it here. We'll funnel the question to the Tiptons to see. But thank you again for coming. So let me see what
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And if you didn't know, the Tiptons are in our community. I see a few of our community members here. So if you're in the community, you always can just tap in.
No. They are not just in the. There was a time where they was not active, but they are giving back. They are showing love. They are answering questions. They don't show their face on the cameras, but they be there. I know you guys are beautiful. You need to show your faces.
Baby on me. That's why we can't do
that. I understand. She got a school there. She got 4 children. Baby, she got school of kids there.
Alani be sitting on our laps on some of these calls. If we couldn't show up to any of these calls, we would, man, listen. But no, you guys have been showing love, showing the community amazing support. So we want to thank you guys as always. And just coming here and just sharing this game, because it's not just about going through the information, it's about taking what you learn and implementing in your own business and taking it to that next level. So I'll answer a few questions in the chat. Let's see. Jasmine said, I turned down an 18,000 square foot home. This is so inspiring. Jasmine, listen, she got to get out her own way. Her and Quay got something amazing out there in VA. So
VA?
Vegas.
That's
yeah.
how you say it.
So someone said, did you guys focus on Google ads more than Yelp? Or what's
Yes.
your main focus? When you focus on your marketing right now, what's the main focus?
Google local
GLS?
services. Yeah, we don't
Okay.
put any money into Yelp.
Right. No.
So wait, Google local services or Google ads? They're two separate things.
Google local services.
Okay, Google local services.
That's
We
where
saw
our
it
money.
to a
That's where our
student.
money goes.
We saw just the other day. He was like, I spent $2,500 on Google ads. I was like, do you know how to manage like ads? That's different.
Yeah, it's
Some people
different.
don't understand that.
I was like, that's a whole different beast. You gotta know how to manage that, just like Facebook ads. So
Exactly.
somebody asked, Joy asked, what's the formula for paying yourselves for the finder's fee and order coordination? So I guess figuring out how do you manage your pricing structure in that situation?
Honestly,
reverse-
so that's something I got from Profit First, reverse engineering. So I named
Mike
it-
McAllowitz.
I did, yeah, he's the man. I mean, I read that book a long time ago. So yeah, it's just in my brain, and I just was like, this is what I want to walk away with after taking on such a demanding
Huge
project.
undertaking.
Right. So that part was my project management fee. And
Okay.
then the additional fees, it was sort of like how we do with our residential cleans and our cleaners, like it's the 60-40, whatever the clean cost, they get some, we get some. And that's how I did the individual,
like what makes sense for you.
My price. Yeah. And then we also did the rush fee for
rush fees, travel fees, because it was an hour away.
We feed
and
them.
then
I'm about to say you just added on every fee.
Yeah.
And then with like Airbnbs and commercial cleans, we find out if I get a call saying about an office, I ask. Sometimes I might just put in our group chat with our cleaners, how much do you all need to make, or send me how much you would need to make from this clean, and then we just tack on ours on top of it to make.
Okay.
Yeah, that's always important.
Somebody on Facebook, Instagram.
How do you get any questions?
They asked, because this is going to lead to what I'm going to say. They asked, what's the name of their company? And the reason they're not going to tell us the name of their company is because, can you share that story? Can you share that story right quick?
Oh, yeah.
It was a Wednesday afternoon and the phone rang. And our VA was out that afternoon, and my husband, I was working with the children, and I heard my husband in the office. He answered with a business name, and then instead of saying how much square footage or how many bedrooms and bathrooms, he says, yes. I mean, it all depends on, what you put into it. Everybody's different. And I was like, huh? And I just started walking towards the office, and he's still being like, I could hear now the person on the phone.
I was trying to get y'all to sell, man.
That's go like something on Facebook. Don't use my company phone to answer questions. It was really, and I could hear that person like kind of asking the same question but a different way.
Yeah, that was.
And so I was like, give me the phone. And I said, it works so well that we're busy. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
So someone was calling them to access CBU, Cleaning Business University. If you didn't know, that's our program, cleaningbusinessuniversity.com. They were calling their company to access CBU was legit.
Yes.
So a lot of times when our students come on, there's no reason for them to share their business name at this point because they get weirdos, if you will, sometimes. Part of the reason why we don't share our business name unless you have the course on platforms either, because it's not like you're going to buy from me, right? You're just coming to come. So, so yeah. Have you ever used Facebook ads?
We have.
We've tried it. Yeah.
Don't sound like you had luck.
No.
Well, and it was a while ago, so it might be something we try again. But it was a while ago.
And maybe it'll work in their market.
Yeah.
This one. So we interviewed them a couple years ago. We kind of talked about their first job, but again, can you guys just recap from going through the university? When did you get your first job? How long did that take? Do you remember?
We saw you guys post in the summer of 2020. We bought the course like maybe July, maybe.
Okay.
That's when we launched it, July 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we bought it then immediately, and we launched in August. I think we had our first late August, and we had our first clean in September.
Yeah. And the clean went well. We had one contractor at the time.
Yeah.
And the clean went well, and I thought she was gonna book like reoccurring cleans, but that never happened. But it went well.
First clean.
Yeah, first clean went well.
You guys remember your first cleaning?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember. I almost remember her name.
Yeah.
Go through it.
We have to have these conversations sometimes where sometimes he'll, Jonathan will be like, oh, we just somebody just booked and he'll say it like 3 and 4 times while we're making lunch or something. And we have to stop ourselves and be like, okay, I said it the other day. I said, if this was 3 years ago, would we be excited about that? And like, yeah, okay, so let's get excited about
Yeah.
that. Let's never act like, you know, back-to-back bookings without any effort is not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were in Disney. I was like, hey, somebody just booked the move out clean. Like, you know,
The best feeling.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, wait, not now.
That is crazy. We're talking about you guys first booking, and now you just did a $30,000 job in one day. And I know sometimes as people, we kind of just get overwhelmed with life, and we just kind of forget about those little things.
Yeah.
But looking back on you guys' journey, if you got time, I might go back and watch that old interview because this is so refreshing. See where you guys were, you know, then, and we're pushing you to like take this seriously.
Yeah.
And then now you're telling us about a $30,000 booking in one day. This is just, it's crazy. Life moves so fast.
Yeah, it does.
It's crazy.
It does. We checked the books. We was over $500,000.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. Yeah.
Don't worry. We gonna send y'all something. Don't worry. we gonna send y'all something. Don't worry, man. Y'all gonna be right there soon. So this is inspiring to me. I'm inspired. You guys got me hyped, man. Sometimes I need these conversations.
And then doing it all.
Thank you. And we appreciate you guys. We say that we appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being a couple we could follow, because honestly, if it wasn't for you guys posting about your debt-free journey, we would have never known about this. So thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. If there's one thing you could tell somebody on the sidelines right now that's like, yo, I'm not sure if Cleaning Business University is for me, what would be one?
Or if they're in it and they're like struggling, what would be something you can tell them?
What's one piece of advice you would give them?
I'm always, you know, they say you got to make to grow and to improve. You got to make yourself uncomfortable. Get out there, put yourself out there, be uncomfortable, and you know you don't know unless you put yourself out there and try. So if you stop, I mean, that's the only way you can lose.
And I would say to mothers especially, you can do this because I wouldn't be able to do what I do with my children and spend that time with them if I had to go away. If I had to leave the home, if I had to go anywhere, I have to find childcare. And I want to homeschool. It was a choice that was given to us in 2020, like kind of forced on us, but now we love it. They love it. And then when we get to travel for cleans or so whatever, they're in the car and they get to be outside and they get to, you know, meet people and see us managing business. So it changed our family. And, you know, just to moms, like, this is something that you can manage. I don't work 10 hours a day.
For the project, we were at a house on the lake. So we was close by to the project and could manage it.
It was
and took our kids, took our family, and stayed on the lake. So
oh, that's crazy.
It was beautiful.
And they paid for
it. Yeah, they paid for it.
I'm about to say my business is paying for my house on the lake while we chill.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, that's good. One last question right here. How much time would you say you guys spend on the business weekly? So you guys are in year 3 right now, between 3 and 4.
You have a VA.
3?
Yeah.
We have a VA.
So how many hours would you say you spend on the business weekly?
I spend maybe 10.
Okay.
And this is something like, again, like, remember, we put in more time since we have more time. So like before we were probably both together at about 10 hours, but now he spends way more time with just hiring or anything like financial or returning phone calls that we want, you know, they need to speak to management instead of our VA. Or what would you say with the 9 to 5? How much time do you?
I'll say less than 10. I'll put 10 because it's just so sporadic, right? Some days I might not even do anything, and then other days I'll have my phone in my hand answering certain questions, you know, just depending on what's going on.
But even on those days where it's nothing urgent going on, that's a day for content, or that's a day to write like a newsletter for your email list or something like that. So there's always something you can do, even if you have nothing to do, or, you know, it's just reading, you know, learning, always something.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I think that was it. No, appreciate you guys again for sharing your journey, man. And it's everyone said the same thing. This is super inspiring, this whole conversation and journey. So appreciate you guys. They're in the community. They are in there poking around, answering questions, you know, when they show up. So
when somebody asks me something about commercial, I'm like, Search the group and ask the Tiptons. I don't got the answer. We've done a commercial here and there. I'm not as involved. I got my VA and manager, so I don't have the feedback for you.
No.
So just make sure you
Find
tap
the
in with them.
Tiptons. Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys, and
you guys are
just
sharing that, so.
just being the OGs is dope having this conversation. And
Yep.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for sharing. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
But yeah, let's give the hand clap to the 44,000. That's what I need. You guys can't clap on there, but maybe you can put an emoji. Those listening to the podcast, you would hear us clapping. But
Thank you.
Amazing, inspiring, all the things I know, and I know that felt amazing, especially as a mom getting back into it. So
it is.
Yes, yes to that. So all right, you guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you
so much again, and take care.
Bye.
See you guys soon.
All right.
Yes, that was amazing. Thank you to
inspirational,
the
man.
And those of you that tapped in on Instagram and on YouTube, thank you for tapping in. We're always looking for students to share their story. You know, they're in the community, so we know about them. We know what they're doing, but I know there's some students that's doing their own thing that hasn't shared anything, but we're always willing to have a conversation no matter where you are. Hit your 5K, got your first cleaning, things you've learned and grown. So you know where to find us.
And what's super dope is that, like I said, we saw their journey from the very beginning. They was one of our first students.
Yeah.
So when we tell you
the month we launched it.
The month we launched Cleaning Business University, they were one of our first students. So when we tell you guys you can't lose if you don't quit, they are living, breathing examples of that. If you go on our page, you can see the first interview we did back in 2021 when we first launched, and they get, I forgot what the number was, $15,000 in a month, and now they're doing $30,000 in a day. They had 10K weeks. So you're seeing the trajectory of their growth as they go along. So it's not just our wins, it's their wins, it's community wins, and it's also you guys' wins as well.
And I think what's important, another big message that they had is about, you know, figuring it out. And I know a lot of times we're scared. A lot of times, I mean, we speak about this. The cleaning business was our first business, right? So I don't know if I would have done the same thing. I would have probably been at Tony saying, we probably can't do this, right? But figuring it out, that's what they are based off of. They're like, all right, we're going to figure this out. Let's not say no. Let's see what we can do. Let's push ourselves. Let's get uncomfortable. And I think that's so important with business in general. So
I want to make sure you guys subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you guys being here. If there was any gems that you took away, please show us some love. You don't know what that subscribe button means to us, and that thumbs up and that like. That lets us know that you enjoyed the conversation. That lets us know as creators to keep going, and more importantly, creating that impact and sharing other people's stories. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, the like, the subscribe.
And if you missed it, this will be a podcast episode next Tuesday, so you can hear it in full all over again if you need some more inspiration. So,
all right, guys. See you guys next time.
Take care.
Peace.